learn together and we'll grow together. And my name is Parth, as John introduced me. And just a little bit of correction, I have more than 3.5 years of sales experience, and total IT experience is 7 years. And I started my journey within Pune, and I went outside of India for a year, and currently I'm back. I was back to Pune after that, and right now I'm located at Hyderabad. And recently I'm working with Egen or Spring ML, and as Salesforce as our client. So I'm working for Salesforce in a way, and I have mostly worked on CRM analytics. So today we'll be going through in and out of CRM analytics from a basic standpoint view. So if you are a newbie, if you want to have this add-on with yourself, then this is a good session which you have joined. We've got you covered for that. And we are going to see all the basics from the start, from the scratch. We are going to build a dashboard from the scratch to the 100% level. We'll be going through the recipes, we'll be going through the data sets, we'll be going through the dashboard building, and we'll also be mentioning all the best practices while we go along. So I'll just get going and I'll start sharing my screen.
It is
Let me
visible.
know if it's visible.
Yes, yes.
It is visible. So this is the place from where we initially get into the analytics studio. From now the navigation, you'll just click on analytics studio and you'll be here. So this is the home page, how it looks like. And let us go through what all things do we have over here. So over here we'll be seeing all the recent things which we have opened and logged. I mean, tried over here in this place. Over here you'll be seeing the browse part where you'll be able to see things app wise, dashboard wise, component lens, and so we'll be talking about what all these exactly means. So let us start with the app for now. So apps are nothing but the folders in CRMA. The same way how we used to store our lightning reports and dashboards. The same way we store things into apps over here. Apps are just folders. So dashboards, everybody knows what are dashboards. Components, we can say those are the small parts within the dashboard which we may reuse. So we create a component instead, and we reuse that particular components at many different places. So when we find some sort of reusable thing, reusable UI widgets, a group of widgets, which we think they are going to get used for more than once or at multiple places, for those kind of scenarios or situations, we opt for components. We'll be seeing how do we build them and all everything. Lenses. So lenses are nothing but a view of a data. So basically, if if you have some sort of table, and it is similar to that, you used to write a query to get a view of that data. You join multiple things, and then basically it's a select query in a way we can see that. So that is a lens. We have a data set over here, which is going to be an input for our dashboard. So when we want to explore the data, what sort of data is present in that particular data set, then we create a lens out of it. Lens is nothing but a view of the data. Then we go for models. We are going to skip this one for this session. We will definitely go for this one in our future sessions. This is data set. So data sets are, again, as I mentioned, they are the input source which is on over which we are going to create dashboards, and we can create data sets through multiple ways, and we are going to go through them. So let us see what are the different ways of creating data sets. So when I go over here and click on dataset, so I see these following options over here. So first is CSV file. So if we have a CSV file, we can click over here and create a dataset directly. If I do it shortly, then this is second part is Salesforce data. Then through this we can build it via data flow or via recipe. So data flow and recipe are two different ways to create data set. So what data flow and recipe will do at the end? So what they will do is they'll help us perform ETL thing, extract, transform, and load. We'll be doing these three things within recipe or a data flow, and at the end, after doing all the mix and match of uh, creating all the different fields which you want to create, perform all the complex computations or something like that. Those things will be storing in different fields, and then the final output of the data which will be creating, which is called data set, and that data set is going to be as an input for our dashboard. So, and this is external data. We CRMA also provides many ready to connect external connectors where we don't need to do any sort of code level of integration thing. We have ready to use connectors. We just need to put the URLs or the passwords or the credentials for that particular endpoint, and we'll be able to connect the data from there, and we'll be able to fetch the data from there itself directly. And this is the last one is your data set itself. So suppose there we have a huge kind of a business scenario which consists of n number of different objects or tables, and based on that we need to create some recipes and data flows and then create some data sets. So at times what happens is there are some common kind of things which we need to perform, which common data which we need as an input to many different recipes or data flows. So those common calculations which we are going to need in each and every different dashboard or each and every different recipes which we are going to build for those dashboards, then what do we do is we create a smaller recipe or a data flow to have those computations ready. So we don't need to write that piece of thing everywhere multiple times. So what we do, we write it once and we use that data set which is created out of that particular piece, and we'll be reusing that as an input source into a recipe or a data set. So we'll understand more about it once we are into the recipe. I will come back to this, and don't worry if you feel like okay it is going above my head or something like that. We are good, we'll go back to that. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll create an app for our today's session. I'll go over here and create an app. App is nothing but a folder. I'll create a blank app, and the things which you see over here, they are the templates. So what CRMA does is with each different types of licenses which the users buy, the customers buy, they give them, along with those licenses, they give some ready-made templated apps. That these templated apps already have some sort of recipes and dashboards pre-built, kind of. This is out of the box features in a way. So these are that. So all you need to do is click on it, and you need to input some of the details which they might ask while configuring that particular app, and based on that, at in the background the recipe will be there and everything is going to get created, and you'll also have a dashboard running up for you. But it may have some challenges because all the customers do not always use all the standard fields and objects. They often have their own custom objects, they often have their own custom fields over which they might be doing all the business processes. So over there we need to do some tweaks at the back end in order to run those dashboards fully and get the most of it. So right now we were going over here and creating a blank app for us. We'll be clicking on continue, and we'll just do is, let us name it, sales performance. Okay, so this is our blank app. It doesn't have anything inside it yet. So what are we going to do? What we are going to do is we are going to create a recipe from the start. So basically, this is the question which I should have, started with. But I would like to know how many of you have heard about CRMA prior to this, or have got chance to work on it before this. You can try to answer in comments. So is it completely new for everyone who all are here? Okay, great. Okay, cool. So I'll go back to my screen and I'll share. Didn't get chance to work hard, but now okay. Okay, awesome. Okay. But most of you are at least familiar with Salesforce, so you all know what are objects and all those things. So we, I'm assuming that we all know at least platform basics for the Salesforce, and based on that, we'll be moving ahead. So within this Analytics Studio, we have created this app as of now. And when we go over here, this is called Data Manager. So we can go to Data Manager from two different places. One is from here, and another would be from the settings icon and over here. So if we go to Data Manager, what we see is this is the jobs monitor. Will come to this, data assets will come to this, recipes we are going to build now, usage will come to this, and connections. This is the one part which I wanted to let you guys introduce with for now. Connections is the place where we connect data and bring it CRMA. So I speak like this. The databases within CRMA and the database of Salesforce, they are different. I mean, CRM doesn't access directly the Salesforce data. In Salesforce, we might have a number of objects and a number of fields. So if we want those data to get inside, to get populated, or we want to utilize the data and build some dashboards over it, then first we need to fetch that data and bring it into CRMA. So that part is done from here. So over here, we can see this is one of the connection type, which is local. SFDC local means nothing but the same org and objects within the same org will be able to see. If I click over here in new connection, we see this Salesforce connector. We see all the different types of connectors which we spoke about, which CRMA supports. The direct kind of ones. So suppose I have an Amazon RDS MySQL connector. If I click on this, if I go next, I'll be able to see these options to fill in. So I need to provide this username, this database name, and username password. So these are the credentials kind of thing for that particular database, and these are the names which we need to give for which will be displayed and stored within CRMA. The connection name, whichever we want to give, it is the API name, and some short description, what sort of data it is. And these fields are related to the external data itself, the external part. And this is the local part which is connected. And I can go over here and click on edit objects. So once I go over here, I will be able to see all the objects from our Salesforce standard. I mean, all the Salesforce objects which we see over here, standard and custom, both objects will be here. And we need to select those objects. And after we do that, we can click on any object. If we click on this object, we have we get list of all the columns. So we need to see we need to select all the columns which we really need and which we are going to use while creating the dashboard or while building a recipe. So it is it is a good practice to only select those fields which we actually need and which we are actually going to use it further. Otherwise, what it does is there are two types of sync. There is full sync and incremental sync. It is going to sync the data. So unnecessarily, it is going to bring extra columns and the data for those columns. So suppose there is an opportunity object. So this is again a trailer dog. So, but suppose if you have a live customer, then they will be having lakhs and lakhs of opportunities, millions and trillions of data might be there. So it is really difficult in that case. It is really suggested that avoid extra columns which you're not going to use, because all of those columns are going to bring extra data. Extra amount of data is going to use extra space, and this is the place where the usage is seen and monitored. So this is again a trailer dog. So things will be different. The limits will be different for this org, and an actual org it will be different. So basically, point to keep in mind is only bring what you need, nothing else. So those things will be keeping here. And anytime if you need some more things, you can come back over here and add them all, add them on the way, on the go. So this is the first step of having the data, bringing the data into CRM in order to build something or create something with it. So one more thing which I would like to tell you guys is when we talk about objects and fields over here, which are visible. So suppose you are not able to see couple of fields over here, or within, suppose let's say this account object I'm opening, and I mean I'm not able to see a single field over here somehow. Then the reason behind that could be, we'll just go over here to object manager and we'll open account. We'll go to the fields, and let's say this is a field. Okay, active. And then I'll go to field level security. Okay, so suppose I'm not able to see this active field over here in the connections part. Right now it will be there, but if a field is not there, yeah, it is there. If a field is not visible over here, the reason could be is this particular profile is not having its access. So if this is unchecked like this from here, then that particular thing will not be accessible over there. So these are the two profiles which RMA is internally using to access the data from the local org. So this is the again there is a difference between this profile and this profile. So integration profile is the one which you need to see it over here. So this is only needed, and security user is for something else. It is for security predicates. We will be there soon after we complete our dashboard. This is the thing which we are going to see at the last. Security predicate is nothing but it is row level security settings which we enable over the dashboards or over the data sets basically. So we'll come back to this later on. Yeah, so for now we have created an app and we saw what is the first step is. Our first step is to bring data in. Okay, so this is the recipe. We see we can create recipes from here. We need to go to data manager, and for going to data manager we saw that we can either go from here or we can go from here. And once we have this data manager tab open, we need to go to the recipe section, and over here we can create recipe. So again, recipe and data flow, these are the two ways how we can create data set other than using it from CSV or using it from directly creating from CSV and directly using existing data sets as well. So we can do that. So regarding that, using existing data sets, when I go over here, to add a source. So let me just close this once again. So this is the part where you can add the input data from. So input data are again of three different types over here. Salesforce objects, the standard objects which in which we saw in the connections, external connected objects. So the external data like the AWS thing which we saw, uncheck that, we don't have that for now. And these are again CRM analytics data sets. So the existing data sets which we talked about a little bit earlier. So the small part of data, small part of ETL thing which we need to compute for many different recipes, then what we do, we cut that part from there, and which is repetitive part. So it is like optimizing code in a way, the same way we create smaller functions and we call it from main function or something like that, building a utility kind of thing, we can say, refactoring it. So that's what we do over here by when we say we are using it directly from the existing data sets. So if I just click that, CRM analytics, so these are the existing data sets which are here. And if I remove this and select this, then we'll be seeing just the Salesforce local data. So suppose we can see we can select opportunity and account for now, and I as we go over here, so this is opportunity, we get to select so which number of fields we are going to need for this particular recipe. Okay, so the connections part, you might be thinking that we also have that field selection over there and we also have it over here. Why just have two different places to again select the fields? So the connection part, which was there, it was for the whole CRM analytics kind of thing. So basically, if a user is purchasing, if a Salesforce customer is purchasing CRM analytics, that particular customer might be having 10 to 12 different recipes which are going to create a number of data sets and which are going to be used into some n number of dashboards. So this selection over here which we are seeing, this is at recipe level. So again, it is necessary to only bring in data which we require for this recipe. At the main connection level, we are having 10 different recipes. So for 10 different recipes, we might be having different number of fields required for each of them. So over here, when we open that opportunity object, we might only be needing couple of fields. Let's say we just need name, description, we need amount, we need close date, type, and let's say account ID for joining. Yeah, this is just what we need. So we'll just select these fields out of the 48 which are available openly for all the recipes. And similarly in account, if we go, I have selected account over here, and an account I just need its ID and name and billing city, billing state, nothing else. For now, I just want these 5 fields. So I'll just click next. So this is again very important part, to bring in only what is required. So these are the input nodes over here in recipe. Similarly, if I want any existing data set, I'll click on here and for now, I'll just click this. This has these 4 fields. Yeah, so it will look slight different if you see the logos. So this is an edge mart in a way, and data flows, we used to call it edge mart. We'll come to comparison of data flow and recipe, but data flow, the support for that is going to get finished in near future. So we need to move to recipe. So let us try to be here. I'm explaining it to myself because I don't divert. Okay, so these are the input nodes, and this is an edge mart. Edge mart is nothing but an existing data set which we are using it over here as an input. Okay, so these are the input source, and if we click on it, we can see a preview section over here, data preview section, which is again a great thing. Runtime, we are able to see a data preview. This will again be a sample data. It will pick random 100 or 200 rows over here. We can increase the, okay, it is 2000 for now. So we maximum is 10,000. 10,000 of 10,000 rows minimum we can, maximum we can fetch over here for the data preview thing. which is again a good thing. In data flow, when we used to do it, there was no this data preview thing available over there. So that is again a huge benefit of using it. So now we have different input nodes, and based on these input nodes, we will be performing different operations. So if I want to join account and opportunity, we can either join it in two ways. Either I can put it like this, so join from here, and either we can put it in second way like this. We can join it like this. So what will happen is if I put from from account to opportunity, then opportunity will be at the top and account will be at the bottom. I dragged it from account and landed it over opportunity. So the node which you see at the top is known as the left node, and the node which you see at the bottom is known as right node. So we are in left node and right node, two nodes we are joining it. And we'll talk about these types of joins. And over here we have the keys. So what it will do is it will automatically map keys by itself. It will suggest in a way. We can still click on, and we can write it on our own as well. We can check it. Okay, it has taken perfect field for account ID from opportunity, and from account we are using ID. And this is how we are going to add it. This join is added over here. And as you all can see, we have different types of join over here. So first is lookup, then we have left join, right join, inner, outer, cross. So we'll see how the things look for these joins. So what is lookup? Lookup is something that it is going to take the first match whichever it finds for the particular key from the right, from the left table to the right table. So for here, for now, opportunity is at the left. So we have 10 opportunities, and we have two accounts, five having uh, both accounts are having five different opportunities, let's say. Then the if we have lookup in that way, it won't make any difference because each opportunity is only going to have one account, right? But suppose if we have lookup in this, and if I reverse this, keep editing, let me delete this. Okay, discard changes. If I do the reverse thing where account is on top, so the account is at left now. So what will happen is I'm having one account, and with one account I'm having five different opportunities linked to it. But the output, this output will again show us the preview, and what this preview will be, the grain will be account in this case. In the previous case, the grain was opportunity. The one at the node which is at the left is the grain to the data set. So the grain at the left is going to be account for this particular join, and we'll only be seeing one single opportunity name over here in this case. So over here we can see opportunity dot name is there, which label is name. We can see all the uh, list of columns over here and their API names and type and all. So if we go back to preview, this name is there. So suppose for these accounts there are no opportunities, that's fine. But maybe for this particular account there might be more than one opportunity, but all we can see is just one opportunity over here. Lookup will just find the first match within with the next table from the right table. That is lookup. And if we go to left join, it is going to again keep the granularity of account. So the lookup is all again a left join, but it will just bring a single matching data. But same way, if you just change the join over here, then we can see that what will happen is we'll see the multiple accounts over here. So we can see the browser 460 inc is written over here. So this is an account which is having multiple opportunities listed over here. And if we just go back to lookup over here, then we'll be only seeing one record for that particular account, which was this browser 460. Can you see this particular single account is only having single opportunity for now, and it is not being repeated now. But in this case, in left join, it is going to give us repeated number of rows for account as well. So this is normal left join. Similarly, at right join, it will be the opposite thing. Opportunity is going to be at the granular level. So definitely, if we understand left join, we are good with the right join. And inner join is again things which uh, it will only bring the data where it has all the accounts are matching with the opportunity. So over here, we also had some accounts with blank opportunities, but over here we don't have those. So only accounts with opportunities will be getting. So based on our requirement, what actually we need. So suppose there is some chart or some widget where we only need accounts with opportunities. We can either do it by applying some filter where opportunity fields are not null, or we can specifically join it here. So based on what actually sort of what type of data we require, we need to choose this and move ahead. Again, this is outer join, so it will bring all the things of all the rows of both the tables. And cross join is again interesting. So what this will do is this will map each column from left to each row of from left is going to be mapped with each row from the right table. So suppose we have account one and opportunity one, two, three, four, five. We have this five opportunities over here. So account one columns will be written five times with all the opportunity one, two, three, four, five. So these are going to create five rows. So then there is account two. So these are not going to join on any key. This is just going to generate row number one with all the rows of next table, the right table. So again, row number two with all the lines of all the rows of right table. Row number three with all the rows of right table. So this is how it is going, a Cartesian product in a way we can say that. So these are the different types of joins in here. So what we'll do is we'll discard this and I will close this and we'll go back to our use case where we have created an app for now, which is sales performance. And in this sales performance, I am going to create some data sets by uploading CSV files. So what we did is we just went over here to create, we just went on data set and then we clicked on CSV files. So I have some CSV files ready with me. So I'll upload them one by one. So we can select the name and inside which app we want to place this. So it is selected by default because we are doing it from here. We can also do it created from the outside. Then we need to select the app. And once it will show us the preview of the data, what sort of data we have. So based on, we can see all the fields over here. So again, for this is a primary key of this particular table, and this is a measure in a way. Measure means the numerical fields, but IDs should be considered as dimension because we are never going to add IDs or perform any mathematical operations over this. Just in this particular CSV, it has a numerical format. Otherwise, in Salesforce, we won't be ever having IDs in numerical formats unless we want to create in that sort. Okay, so this is going to take couple of minutes, and once it is created, pop-up is blocked. Let me allow it, and I'll create new data set, the second one. product is here. Sales. So again, this is product ID. I'll change it. This is the sales table, and it has the product ID and on which date that product was sold, and this is the revenue generated, and this is again customer ID. So again, we'll change it to dimension and channel of sale. We'll upload it. It will again take a minute or something. Okay, it was created. I'll just refresh this page. I'm not able to see it over here as, yeah, so these two are created. I'll create one more, the last one. Okay, customers we have. Okay, okay, and we'll again change it to dimension. So this is how we upload the data set. I think we are running a little bit behind of time. So what I'll do is I'll open something existing for now. So let's see this. So that's the same thing which we uploaded. We have sales over here. We have customers over here, and we have products over here. So these are the three input nodes. So these are again the edge marks because the dataset we have already created them by uploading the CSV. So that's why it is going to look like this. And then we have joined it over here. So we are joining sales and customer. From sales, we have chosen the customer ID, and from customer, we have chosen customer ID. In sales, we had customer ID field, and over here, this is again the primary key of the customer. So we have joined it with the same, and we are using left join over here in this. So lookup is a bit more costlier. When we talk about the best practices, we should avoid lookups unless there is no other way to achieve it. But yes, we should always try to avoid lookups and use left join or right join instead. They are more cost friendly in terms of times and performance, which is recipe is going to take to run. So once we join the data, we are going to get all the sales, and sales with the respective sale, we are going to get the customer details. So this is the sale and this is the customer detail with respect to that particular sale. Then we have product. So in sales, we also had the product ID. So similarly, we are going to net with that, and we are create the grain over here is sale. If you understand, sale was on the top over here in the join. Sorry, here sale is at the top, and again over here, the sales customer. This node name is again on the top over here. So that is going to be the grain for this particular data set. So this is a data set. So we just need to go over here and we can create this kind of node, and this is how data set is created. But before this, we have this very important node, which is transform. So in this transform node, we can create n number of, we can perform n number of different things, all the transform part in the ETL. So suppose we want to group something, want to customer name is there, and we want which fields he which things he purchased at first and which was the second, which was third. So we want to rank it by its purchase date or those kind of things. Then we need to do it over here. So basically, we get this thing over here where we can create formulas over here. We can create any bucket field or something like that. So let's say we have this revenue over here. So we can use case statement, and then we can find the column from here, and we can mention when revenue is greater than 100. Similarly, we can have n number of conditions over here. Hmm. This is going to be a text field. So if we go down over here, then we can select the output type as text. Default value, we'll leave it blank for now. And this is the name which you want to specify of that particular field. We'll click apply. And so in this way, we can create more number of fields. We can change any formats. We can rename things. So there are different options over here: uppercase, lowercase, replace, trim, those kind of things. Bucket field. Yeah, we also have a standard bucket field option where we don't need to go for the case kind of thing, but we went because we want to see the formula thing. And we have a flatten option, which is not thing which we are going to cover for now. And then these are a couple of other things which are provided in recipe and not there in data flow. So one of this is detect sentiment. So basically, if there a text is there, it is going to give us what sort of feeling that particular text is trying to provide us. Is it in a happy mode or angry mode or something like that? Predict missing values. It is going to help us to predict missing values based on the time frame. Similarly, sorry, that is thing is time series forecasting, and missing value is where it is going to analyze the previous data, and we can based on some logic we can ask them to put some default values instead of the null values. So this is how we do the data cleaning part in a way. And these are again clusters. So clusters are the thing which are going to get formed by by its own. It is kind of going to be a black box thing. We're just going to give it the fields on which using which they need to create some clusters. So it clusters is just going to be like grouping them or creating some sort of buckets, but in a way it is going to be a black box thing. And we just have a number of fields, and we can tell them how many clusters do we want to create. So it will create clusters based on that. So this is how data set is going to get created. This is the first part, and this is the data set's name. So this data set we are going to use to create a dashboard. And let's go here, let us create dashboard. I'll go here and create a blank dashboard. So when we create a dashboard, and this is the place where we can edit these settings. So these are the tiles within the dashboard, small tiles or the columns. What we'll do is we'll increase the column to the maximum, which is 50, and row height we are going to do it fine. So these are, again, this comes again in the best practice. Again, it depends on the situation. If you have what sort of design, based on that you need to arrange these things. But for now we'll keep it like this, so we get a blank canvas totally. So if this was this and if it was not that, so basically what will happen is you have something. So this is how all the widgets are going to get arranged within these styles. And what we want is, I want this 0, I want this fine. So it is still going to be same, but the top and bottom thing is we are going to have more gap for keeping moving things vertically. Okay, so this is our dashboard. What we are going to do is we are going to design it something. So let's say we take an image over here for a logo. So these are different widgets. This is image widget. We are going to we'll try to utilize more number of things. And then this is a text widget. I'll just go here, and I'll so yeah, over here we can have a logo of the company or something, and we can delete this, and we can have name of the sales performance dashboard. So this is the second part. The first part was creating the data recipe. And if we go here, we can align it center, we can make it bold as required, we can change its color, anything. So for now we'll just keep it like that. Okay, and once this is done, we have this widget which is called filter. So what filter will do is, just a second, we are short of time. Okay, so we'll have some filters over here. Filter widgets are basically to do the filterings. In standard reports and dashboards, we won't be having uh, we have a limit to have number of filters, but here we don't have that. We can have more number of filters as compared to what we can do over there. And we can, so what, I'll just do one thing. Click over here on the filter, and once we click over there, we get to select the data source, from which data source we want to create this filter. I'll be selecting sales performance, which is the data set which is created from there. And I want this to be like sales channel. So I'll have the sales channel. Then I create one more from sales performance to be product category, which we had. Then let me have sales performance. Then let me have customers location. So like this, we can have different filters. Just a second. Yeah. So we can arrange it the way we want, and post that we can again, this is a number widget, so we can have some KPIs sort of thing, where we'll be showing some things which will be relevant to the business, which they could find useful. So if I click on this, and this is a number widget going to create some sort of API. So this query opens. So this is again a view of data set. This can be also saved as a data lens. And we will go over here, and instead of this count of rows, I want sum of revenue. So this is going to give us total revenue over here. So this we can again do some styling. We can have it center like this. We can have some borders if we want. Similarly, this we can have sum of quantity sold. So total products sold kind of thing, let us say. Okay, so we can again do a little bit of alignment to center, and we can go to widget style. So this is the text style, or this section will give you all the formatting for that particular widget. If you select this widget, things will be related to that particular widget. If you select this one, it will be working for this. So individual widget wise, we get these things. We also have conditional formatting. So based on, we can add rules again, like if it is more than that number, it should be of red color. If it is less than that, then again of different color. Then we get those things. So for now, I have just copied and pasted it. Control C, Control V works normally over here. But instead of this, let us have some graph. So let's say I am having this graph over here, and we can double click on it. So what we'll have is we can bar it by product name. These are the product names. So these are, I want revenue wise, and I want to sort it. So I'll just click on here. So this is the product which has created most value. So this is the most sold. So we can name it like top selling products. We can have this graph like this. So again, while having this graph, if I go and edit over here, we can go click over here to get different types of charts. This will be in this is again a different thing. If we again, it will be, I mean, if we want stacked bar, but it will not be for this use case, it will be for some other use case. But based on different use cases, we can have different sorts of charts over here. We have line charts, we have combo chart where line and graph, both things will be there. Multiple lines, pyramid. So we have different types of things over here, donuts, and we also have maps. We have waterfall, origami. So all different types of charts are there, and based on whatever selection we have done, it will also try to suggest some charts to us based on whatever things we have did over here. So we can directly choose from here as well if we think we want to display something in that format, that sort. Okay, so this is how we do this. Then let's say we create one more graph and post this. We'll go to questions after this. If we want a normal line chart based on time, so let us say date of sale. I want year, month, and over here from charts. Okay, so I can see this is the sale at this month, for this month, for this month, month wise. Okay, year, month. Okay, so we can again have a number of different formatting options, and we can save it. And we, while we are saving the dashboard, we can save it to the app which we created. So we'll be able to see it under the dashboards part of that particular app. And we can also embed this app on any page. So suppose if I go to the sales, the standard sales app, if I am into this account page and I go to all accounts, let's say this, and I want to embed any dashboard on account page. I'm just editing the record page of the account, and we have this standard out of the box feature to just drag and drop it. What I'll do is I'll have it over here, or let's say let's add it here. Okay, so this is a lightning page, the standard lightning page, and over here I'm going to select the dashboard. We just dragged and dropped this widget, and we have to select the dashboard which we want to display it over here, embed it over here. So this is the dashboard, and we can see we have got the scroll bar. So what we can do is we can also adjust the height from here. If we want something like 800, okay, so we can adjust the height. Basically we can have it 600, I believe, and we'll, yeah, that works for now. So this is how we can embed dashboard onto a record page. And we can also add filter to that particular thing. So suppose this is not a dashboard related to account in a way, but suppose if we create a dashboard which is related to that particular account record, and that dashboard we are going to embed it over here, then we need to add a filter over. And when we added this dashboard filter, this particular thing got open. So what it allows us to select a data source, which is again a data set which we are using in this particular dashboard. And from that data source we have to select a field which represents that particular account record. So account ID will be the field for the same, and that will be selecting it. And this is how uh, that particular dashboard will work for individual records differently. It will, in a way, it is going to filter that uh, dashboard with that particular account record. So I guess we'll keep it that much because I am about time. Yes, 5 minutes over. So I'll stop sharing, and guys, do let me know if you have any questions for now. And
Thanks,
yes,
thanks for the
yes,
great session. There is one question. Any
yeah,
sources or tutorials to learn overall CRM analytics?
sorry.
Any sources or tutorials to learn overall CRM analytics?
Yes, we have a good source. So let me just give me a second. I'll just get into that. I have a LinkedIn post. I will share that link over here. In that particular link, I have listed all the sources from start to end for which we should follow. Okay. Any other questions meanwhile?
No, there is no other question. This is the only question.
Okay, so I'm pasting the link over here. So this particular post is having a list of all the reading materials or all the things how you should get started with if you want to go ahead with this particular journey. And other than this, also please feel free to connect with me over LinkedIn, and you'll also be able to see an option to have one-on-one call with me, and I'll be more than happy to guide you all. If any one of you is really interested and want to pursue CRM analytics as their career, I'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you. Thank you for the great session. Thank you.
Sure, sure, Atish, we can have for external data connection. There are so many things which I haven't covered yet because I never feel 1 hour is enough.
In future, we will conduct more sessions. Thank you,
Definitely.
everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.